how big it starts out.
Okay.
That's 5 inch, 5 inch to here, a little over ½ inch here. It's an 1.5 inch wide, 3/16 thick.
Okay, awesome.
Better to have too much than not enough. We're going to start out with a 3.5 pound hammer and see how my fingers do. That little piece of brass tail I put in there, I put it in there to make a wedge, because both of my 2-pound hammers been so hot the wood shrunk up.
Everybody, this is Jonathan Simmons with the TheBladeBar, and he's been making knives since 1984. And today,
We're going to build it out.
yeah.
Yeah, are we going to build it out? We're going to hit it with a hammer.
Another hammer.
You'll be working with Pierre.
Okay, Pierre.
Pierre.
Alright.
Pierre is a 3.5 pound French pattern blacksmith's hammer. The first thing we're going to do, the first heat, we are going to partition the steel. We're going to take this rod, make a dip about halfway. Partition the blade side from the handle side. That will also ensure we know where the center of mass is. And in any knife smaller than you're going to chop with, you want the center of mass right on your index finger. Unless it's a really short blade, then there's no way to do that.
Now, how hot is it from
That idles at somewhere between 1900 and 2000 degrees.
So it's hot.
Hot. Slippery hot. First rule in a blacksmith shop, don't even pick up snowballs because they might be hot too. Your steel starts emitting color at 1,000 degrees. So even if it's black, it can still be slippery hot. Slippery hot is where it hits you and just slides off and takes whatever it touched with you. It's not as panicky as sticky hot, but it's worse. I'm going to give that the first heat a good thorough heat, because it's been a Barra steel since it got rolled out into a Barra steel. It will move the least amount under the first heat because it's still trying to be a Barra steel. Once we start moving it, the molecules will unanchor themselves and move easier by the second, third heat. You'll notice a difference in how it moves because you've already started moving the molecules. They're excited in moving, but they're moving like this. We're going to start moving stuff. Like getting out of bed in the morning. You move a lot better after you've gone to pee and had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, much better.
Old timers like us, we're built on tube technology. You got to turn it on standby, let the tubes warm up, then you can turn it on. Alright. I'm going to pull the bar out, I'm going to stand it up on edge, I'm going to put this bar on top of it, like so. You want to hit the intersection. And if you hit out here, it drives force up into my shoulder where I got a front rotator cut. If you hit it on this side, it drives force down into my arthritic knuckle. No. Like you mean. duct tape recovery swing, use the bounce to bring it up and bring it back down.
Okay.
Let the bounce help you pick the hammer up.
Okay.
You want to hit it like me.
Okay.
If you hit it wrong and mess it up, I'll fix it. Oh, you'll hit it wrong.
At some point.
I hit it wrong. Whack that down into a bevel on the end.
Yeah, bevel the end.
I didn't even have to tell you to drop the hand. We're going to drop that down into one of these two hammer blades, hammer heads.
Okay.
Then I'll cut it off and we'll do it again with the picture cut off. You hit it like me, but hit it as hard as you can accurate. There you go.
Never had very strong grip.
I'm gonna get Bubba.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to swing it as hard because it weighs
A lot more.
Your left hand or right hand?
Right here.
Left handed all the way at the butt of the handle. Hold it right here.
Right here.
Yep, keep your arm in contact with your body. Now all the way down. Left hand right here. Right hand right there. Sorry. But off to the side of your body.
I got a railroad spike.
Well, like you're rowing almost.
Okay. All right.
But further up here, further down there. Solid drops on it. Call that one Bubba because if we didn't have a shortage of strapping young farm boys, there'd be some guy named Bubba swinging that hammer. Right in the intersection. That's solid. Alright. Knock that off down. We're going to drive that in until it's around 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of that dip to the spine. That's about that.
It's still how steel becomes malleable when it gets hard enough. A lot of people don't understand that. You know.
It's all about getting the molecules inside it loosened up. Same thing with everything will either burn or melt. Ready to hit here. A little further back. Figuring out what we're doing yet?
Yeah. Well, that's what you doing the other day.
Now that, from the divot to the tail, the center of that notch to the tail, 2.5 inches, right? A 4-inch handle would hit most people's hand will fit on. Anywhere from a larger male hand down to a smaller female hand will work on a 4-inch hand. I have a few clients with really big polar bear paws. They'll get a 4.5 to 5-inch hand. Ready? Right there. Now remember, middle of that divot to the tail was 2.5 inches.
2.5 inches.
The space is 4 inches.
So we're working right there, that crease.
I'm going to show you. Space is 4 inches wide.
Okay.
So when I turn it this way and look at it, we're shooting for the end of the divot here to catch here, and the tail to be a little off a little packed. But knowing this is 4 inches, 2.5 inches, just a little off center. I'll show you how long that is real quick. Then we'll stand it up and start hitting it again. We'll check for length before we put it back in. From the middle of that divot to the tail right now, I'm going to say over 3 inches. That's my prediction. Middle of the divot, less than an inch left. Ready? Like me. We gained a 1/4 inch just in that heat.
So that heat.
And that's flat hit.
That's cool.
That's flat hit.
Flat hit.
Not peening it, not forced peen, stretching it, just flat hit. Knocking it down this way, flattening it back out. Now we have squished it down this way, which made it thicker. We're going to have to make it thinner back to where the blade was.
Okay.
I am going to hit with the peen side of the hammer and make ripples. Then you're going to drive on, then I'm going to flip my hammer over, and you and I are both going to drive those ripples out.
Okay.
We are making the steel this way, not driving the humps down. So ripples, drive down, stretches it that way. I'm going to go the length of the handle with the peen. When you see me flip my hammer over, it's time for you to hit it where I hit it.
Okay.
Ready? Like you mean. this heavy. Same drill. What we did there is straighten the back and dip the front where we have that finger well, then a slight indentation for your fingers, getting wider to the back so you got back grip. That's essentially the shape that handle is going to be. After I run it through Mr. Squisher, we'll check it for length. And it'll be 4 1/4, 4 1/2. So you're essentially doing the bladesmithing class day one.
Day one.
Because you're going to take it home. Well, we're going to cool it off, drill the holes, harden it, grind it. You're going to take it home and temper it. And do the handle. Pinky will land about right here, so you got a little tail of handle. Now we'll switch around and do the blade. Now the blade, we've got about 2 inches from here to here, and then we got that little piece of real estate right there. I'm not going to do the math for the side. That will stretch out to at least a 4-inch blade of about 1 1/4 inches wide. We start, I'm going to be hammering over the top. You're going to be hammering this way. You see this curve? And the hump. We're going to pull that hump back this way. Then we're going to start working it down to a slope, down to a point. Okay? We're going to start here. And we're going to drive that hump back. We're actually driving it down, but every time we drive it down, the peak moves back. We're going to make an arch from here down. Right there. Back. Now we're going to start making it drop down to a point. So we'll start here and come back, start here and come back, start here and come back. You had the grandpa that had 12 projects going at one time?
Oh yeah.
ADHD right there, buddy.
Going toward you, right?
Yep. I know for a fact if I ever stop, I'll just lay down and die.
Oh, that's true.
I've been telling my kids for a long long as they've been old enough to understand, if I'm late to the funeral, go look in the shop. You'll probably find me.
Yeah.
Now, try to stay off the tip. We're hitting behind the tip. Remember, the hammer ain't flat, it's a crown.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Fairly even thickness, but it's 1.5 inches tall.
Okay.
You ain't gonna be using it in the kitchen. You don't need 1.5 inches tall now.
Yeah.
Not this short. So we're gonna knock the hump down a little bit. And we're gonna stretch this out into a pretty straight line toward that tip.
All right.
Right?
All right.
You can see damn near every climate on the planet in our state.
Yes, you can.
May not be the most beautiful example of every climate, but we got it all. One more of those.
Don't try to push it that hard.
3 inches. But what I'm going to do is bring it out and I'm going to start the plunge. The plunge is where you go from the rectangular thickness. It plunges down to the edge bevel. That's the plunge. Okay. We're gonna start hammering that in. It will get a little bit of a beer belly right there. Then the next heat, you and I will extend down the edge. You can use both if you want to, or we can switch to the edge. But I do the plunge because it's theoretically simple, physically complex. It takes years to master it. And you can learn more by watching me do it the first time than trying to do it and having to fix it. I'm ADHD, so I'm prone to info dumping. Give it a beer belly.
Okay.
This next heat, we're going to take the hammer and see how the face is crowned. It's not flat, it's got an arch to it. We want to hit the center of the head on the edge. Okay? It sounds like you are doing something very complex and accurate, and you are. But your brain will write that code if you let it, without thinking about it. It's just like driving a nail.
I can think of Jimmy. Look, we're going to hit.
Driving a nail. You don't think about hitting in the middle of the hammerhead, you just hit the nail. We're hitting the edge. We will drive it out a little bit, we will squeeze it down a little bit. We will drive it down a little bit, we'll squeeze it out a little bit. You can overpower. Stay off the tip. I'm pulling it out, and we're going to drive it in a little bit, which is going to get it longer. And it's going to sure up the straightness on the front of our edge, so that when we get down to the tip, it will be straight. And we're going to press it on the Z-axis, which will make it grow on the X and Y. Since the spine isn't going to move, it's going to curve up. Ready? Still keep.
Gas in my barber. They don't spin those parts in the wheel. They make them by hand and they
Coil potter.
Yes, they're perfect. And the designs I've seen over there are geometric and perfect. And you do that with your eyes and your hands.
People will say Native Americans don't come from that 80%. Okay, going back to the edge. Take some of the hiccups out. I generally don't, when I'm doing my work by myself, I never hammer on the edge. Because forcing myself to be more intentional in that. Everywhere you can press it on the Z-axis grows on the X and Y, right? Basic marshmallow physics. You understand marshmallow physics? Mama hands you one of them fat marshmallows, what's the first thing you do with it? Give it a yoink yoink, then you eat it. You gotta yoink yoink the marshmallow, then eat it. Like if you pick up an air drill, you gotta yank yank before you do anything.
Yeah.
Then you can accurately start making compromises to do the thing. We're doing this again. Stay off the tip. When we're doing the bevel, everything you do on one side, you got to do on the other side. Because if you hammer one side, you're driving the material toward that side. You're moving the midline toward that side. You go back over to the other side, you drive back the other. Unless you're making like a Japanese deba, then it's a whole different ballgame. Because it's a single bevel and it's only hard steel on one side. Stay off the tip. I ain't saying you did get on the tip. It's just helping you remember. Everywhere we hit it, it gets a little bump in it. We want to wash all those bumps out very slowly, very evenly, where we don't have to grind them off or hammer them down. That's what I was talking about. I don't hammer on the edge after I start beveling because I want every hammer stroke to meet the next hammer stroke. So that when I do make that arc even on the grinder, I'm not taking off a 16th off the edge. Then when I grind it, I don't want to grind more than a 32nd or 64th off the bevel. Just enough to get past the decarb into hard metal and have a smooth surface to pass through material. That's it. See, everywhere we got a hump, we've already hit it. We want to hit between the humps. It's not really pulling back. The next place is pulling up next to it. Straightening the cube. Yep. We're still a little thick on the end, but we're slowly going to keep going down. A little more down here, a little more up here. We're getting the target thickness right in here. But we'll tap, tap, tappy, tap. Again. Okay, this next piece, back to get the bar. We're going to put it right there. Round that out a little more, get a little deeper in, and I'll instruct on the heat after that when I put it back in that heat. Try not to get the donkey in front of the buggy. There's more tap, tap, tap now. Bring your elbow up and hammer more toward yourself. Alright. See how it's evening that up and sharpening the chin? I'm not picking on them specifically.
Same direction?
Down. Now we're going to straighten up the handle a little bit, give it more forward, straighten the spine out a little bit. I'll be using a very advanced and technical technique to do that. We call it anvil thwacking.
Okay.
I'll grab it and whack it on the end.
Whack it.
Straighten it out. Pretty good. Now we're going to tap, tap, tap in here to move this curve to that side. And our blade is just a hair shy of 4 inches. Well, you can ask your wife about this. A lot of people misunderstand that there is a difference between art and decoration.
Yeah.
That little bit that we tapped it, move the curve to the other side. That first tap you hit it, did you feel the back of this hit the anvil? Couple of tweaks and corrections, and it'll almost be an onion. I'm going to tap out the bevel a little here, bring down the point some, straighten out a few of the slight wiggles, and we'll be ready to quench it. People are often amazed when I do the delicate work with a 3.5 pound hammer, but I don't have to swing it. I just let the hammer fall where I want it. This heat, I will probably be hitting about that hard. Really is. Because I don't want direct downward force on it at that point. kind of wipe that bump off. Wipe that down a little. And you see how fast it's cooling off because we're losing thermal mass because we're redistributing the mass. A lot of times when I do demos, when we go in, I'll show you a chef's knife I demoed yesterday. And I like to start with an oddly thick, wide, short bar and make something long and thin and elegant. Just to, because in the demo, I'm really trying to push the reality that what we are doing is rearranging mass. If numerically you have enough mass in here to lose 5% and still meet that goal, you can do it. Not even 5%, but if you assume 5%, you got to win. I get knives in periodic hits. It's not being content with, well, that's the way it's always been. Put it back in the forge. I'm going to bring it up to about 1500 degrees. We're going to bring it out and let it air cool on the anvil to normal height. We got to bring it out periodically because the edge is going to heat up faster than the spine, but it's also going to cool down faster than the spine. So when I put it back in there, there'll be more retained heat back here. It'll eventually catch up. I got a ding with it. I'm gonna have to get it hotter now. You see that little right there at the end?
Yeah.
While I'm heating up for the normalizer, I am tightly examining everything in there. Because you're coming up on your last chance to fix it with the hammer. After this, the only way to fix it is with the grinder. Well, you've seen the movie The Man Who Would Be King, right?
Yes.
You know who it was written by, right? 1500 degrees doesn't look near as hot as you think it will. And we're going to let that air cool. Then I'm going to put it in the vise to let it cool all the way down. We'll pop the holes in it. We'll harden it. Then you take it out and bake it after I grind it. But you can see how little grinding there is left to do. Yeah. See how narrow it is?
Yes, I do. Wow, that's... And we did all that with hammers and presses.
That's less than a 16th from here down.
That is amazing. Bring it down now. Let's see, maybe drill.
When I'm making tailings, I think it'll get free. Yep.
There you go.
I want the handle to end about right here, so I'm going to put this right there.
That is just amazing. We did that. Good God.
And when you do it, pull it still from when we had it down here
Yeah,
with the ruler,
yeah,
and then a still of this,
yeah.
so you can see the. I'm gonna pull it out of the fire and I'm gonna hand it to you like this.
Okay.
Now this end has been in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
This end is not. Which end do you
not.
want to grab?
This end.
Your right hand or the left hand?
I'm right-handed. So,
Stand on that side.
on this side.
I'll hand it to you like this.
Okay.
You're going to take it in your right hand and you're going to put your elbow up in the air. You're going to put your left hand on your knee
Okay.
and you're going to go into the oil
Uh-huh.
and go up and down in the oil.
In
Not
the oil.
out and
oil.
in.
In the oil.
In.
Okay.
And steady, steady. We got one end bubbles off this way
Mm-hmm.
because it cools faster on one side. The other side, warm.
Straight down.
First, we got to take that wiggle out of the tank that I didn't, where it didn't get all the way out. But that will also help preheat the blade. Now remember, those are 1/8" holes. Regular brass flux brazing rod is just a hair over an 1/8. I wouldn't put handle scales thicker than a 1/4 inch on it, and then round it down from that. So that a 1/4 inch plus 1/4 inch and a half inch is about 3/16. So you'll be, there's math there, but my brain's too tired to do it. We're there. Ready? Yeah. Quickly. Alright. Well now, rip it off, let the oil drip in here. $50 a gallon.
That's expensive.
Yep.
Many thanks to Jonathan Sibley for this knife making adventure, and it was certainly an adventure. I enjoyed it.